Hey guys, welcome back to Brother Jay's Card Finds. Day 2 of this weekend, second show. I went to the Card Boys show in Denver, PA, and it was a good show. Actually, it starts at 8. I believe I was out of there by 10. I did spend a lot of time with a couple gentlemen that watched my videos, and they sold me some cards. They told me online that they had some cards for me to look at, and it's what I did. I started with another couple gentlemen that when I came into the show, I noticed they had their 10-cent boxes. So I went through the 10-cent boxes. So I just put this up. I've had this for a while, but I put it up so there would be something on the screen instead of just a white screen. Everybody would know I'm there. All right. Here's the 10 centers. We got a Steve Carlton notches his 4,000th K to Don Ross 86 highlights. Here is a Ryan Howard Modern Stadium Club. This is a Cal Ripken Home Run Heroes, I believe it is. Hardball Heroes, excuse me. And that's from Pinnacle. There's another Pinnacle Zenith of Cal Ripken. Some of these I may already have. I didn't really take a whole lot of time. This Score Bow I probably have, but just wanted to make sure. So Frank Thomas, I'm not sure if I have this because this has that best seat in the house seal, so I think that's probably a little more difficult to find. Here's a Pacific Frank Thomas, which I may or may not have. Alright, we'll keep going here. All-Star Salute. Pudge Rodriguez. What does it say? Set behind the plate. Okay. I'm not sure what this set behind the plate is referring to. This is an 86 All-Star Glossy of Ricky Henderson. It's actually, I guess, an 87. It's reflecting the last year's All-Star game. The Cal Ripken headliners. Rip's three-run homer game. A first, okay. I guess first time he did a three home run game, I guess, is what they're saying. There's a couple more Cal Ripkens. That's from that. I don't know what that set is. I have a bunch of them. I'm hoping I don't have that one, but if I do, I do. Like I said, I don't have a list of those or anything. Here's I don't know what these are from. They're saying 75th anniversary, and it's Craig Biggio. I guess they're special for the 2026s. Here's the 76 home run leaders with Mike Schmidt and Dave Kingman and Greg Luzinski. We got some old football here. We have Steve Largent. I believe that's a 80. I think that's an 85. Here is a Dan Fouts. I believe that's 81, the Montana rookie year. Another Lawrence Taylor. This is another Dan Fouts. Then we have a Phil Simms. We have a Mark Gastineau. You have to get that card. Look at that hair. That's wonderful. Tony Dorsett. Mike Singletary. Okay. Art Monk. You're talking Hall of Fame players here, I believe, most of them. Mike Singletary. Chris Collinsworth. I believe that is his rookie. I'm not 100% sure on that. Walter Payton. They call him Sweetness. And I believe this is a William the Refrigerator Perry rookie. I already have one, but I took another 10 cents. Jesus Made, Bowman Paper. I think it's this year's. There's a Nolan Ryan from Stadium Club. I'm going to guess that's a 93. I don't think I had that, though. There's a Bow from the same year. And here's a Randy Johnson from that same year. And one more, a Griffey. So I think those are all 93 Stadium. Here is a Pinnacle Griffey. May or may not have that. A couple of these, I got the Celebration of the Kid. There's one more. Here's a McGuire 89 look. Here's the other Celebration of the Kid. Bo Jackson 89 look. Probably already have that. Here's a Babe Ruth from Stadium Club. I like the look of that. It's kind of neat. I couldn't believe this was in there. I mean, I have to look at it a little closer. I see a thing up top, but it's a Bruce Sutter rookie for 10 cents. I mean, yeah, it's hard to beat that. Here's a Bubba Chandler, which is kind of weird. I thought it's a shortstop pitcher. I think he's a pitcher in their system. Jackson Churio. Not sure what year that was. That's a 2023, so I'm assuming that's before his rookie year. I think his rookie year was 2024. Pete Rose, 86. Here's a Jeter, 94 prospect. And this is a very colorful Bryce Harper. So adding those to my collection. Those are all the 10 centers from that seller. I also bought a few more cards from him because he had such good cards in there. I didn't want to just spend $4. I decided to spend a little more on him. So I got these cards as well. This was a $5 card. This is a 75 Yaz. I don't believe I have it. Seems to be in pretty nice shape. These were all $2. This is a 83 tops traded Ron Kittle. That's his rookie. 72 Bob Gibson. And looked to be in pretty good shape. I was surprised by that. I think it's off center. And this is a 58 Granny Hamner from the Phillies. So I do like Granny Hamner. I have several of his cards. I don't know if I have that one, but regardless, it was only $2. So I believe I spent $10 with those guys total. I could be wrong about that. Let me see. 5, 11. I think it was 14. So it was, yeah, it was like 15. I think they just did 10. Okay. And then, like I said, I had been contacted on Marketplace. They hit the button accidentally, but they told me to show up at the show because they had some cards for me to look through. And it was a bunch of boxes full of my type of thing, older cards, 80s, 90s. And the thing is, they intended for me to buy all the boxes for 10, which would have been a great deal. There was even a complete 1990 Upper Deck set in there. It wasn't factory, but it was a complete set. I could have probably thrown that on Marketplace for $5 and got rid of it since I already have the 90 set. But I guess I misunderstood that they wanted to sell everything. So I sat down and went through all the boxes. I think they just thought I was just looking to see if there were certain players in there, but I was picking out, and I only really intended to buy the ones that I wanted. And like I said, I should have probably just bought the lot. I mean, I could have easily gotten rid of the other cards and maybe made a little bit of money on them, but I like rooting through stuff. So these were all from those boxes, and there's some good stuff in here, actually. I was happy to see that it wasn't all like junk or anything like that. The condition's probably a little rough on some of them, like this one here. So I basically, he told me pay what I want for him. I said, I'll give you 10 cents each for him if you don't mind. He was fine with that. So this Clemens is clipped from a magazine. As you can see, I have some issues down there, which is going to be into the card. But here's a Donruss Hall of Fame here. Let me put them up so you guys can see. Josh Gibson. This is a Neugebauer. I need this for my 2003 set. So Pedro, this is the inscribed. Here is a first pitch, Trevor Hoffman, a 83 Donruss, Andre Dawson, and an 84 Fleer, Bruce Sutter. This is a Victory, Jim Thome. Not sure what year that is, but I collect Jim Thome. This card I would have bought either way. I love the way it looks, and I'd like to have it in my personal collection, but I also need it for the 1995 set that I have that's incomplete, so it's going to go in the set. This is an early Pat Burrell. I believe it's his rookie year, 2000. It's from the Reading Phillies, and it has his scouting numbers. You know, the scale. Like his hitting is 60, his power is 60, speed is 40, arm is 55, and defense is 50. So, yeah. So it's kind of a neat card. This is a Star Retro rookie of Dwight Gooden, and I also got one of Darryl Strawberry. So, the legends from the Mets. This is a Timeless Talents, Frank Thomas and Paul Konerko. I don't believe I had that, which is why I pulled it. I should probably set this one. Maybe, well, we'll set it back in a little bit. Yeah. Here's a Fernando from 84. This is Billy Wagner Omega, Pacific Omega. Here's a 2002 Scott Rowland Gold Glove. Here is a Manny, and that's from First Pitch. Here's a Chipper Jones. This is from an Upper Deck set of some kind. Okay. Now I'll go back to, let me see if there's any more. I think it's just these three. These three. Brewers manager Harvey Keene. And Bill Buckner, there you go. Billy, there's a shout out for you. And Bob Shirley from the Yankees. Those three I needed for my 84 set attempt that I'm doing. So, Craig Biggio. It's a weird, I guess it's called Sweet Spot by Upper Deck. This is, I'm kind of surprised I bought it, but no, I mean, I remember him with the Brewers. Fernando Vina, that's a minor league card. I'm not sure what year his actual rookie came out. Here's Leaf Preferred, Barry Larkin. Not sure if I have that. I may well. Here's a late Pat Burrell back with the Giants, 2010. This Bell, there's probably a real good chance that I have it. It looked a little unfamiliar because, like, the Dufex looking effect. I know it's not really a complete Dufex, but... Leaf Preferred Pedro, good chance I may not have that. 97 Fleer Ultra, 97 Fleer Erstad, I meant to say. Pretty sure I don't, oops, great, that's great, smash the corners. Chipper Jones, 2008, that's one with the gold. I don't think it's really any more special, but 2011, Zach Greinke, mainly got that one because he's with the Brewers there. Larry Walker, this is a Home Run Heroes. It's embossed a little bit on the bottom with the bat, so it's kind of cool. Schoolboy Rowe, and that is from, it's a TCMA, but it's also Renata Galasso. So Schoolboy Rowe, pitcher for the Tigers. This is a Reggie Sanders. I only bought this because of that. I don't know how much of it you can see, but it's a, I believe it says Printer's Press. Excuse me. Oh boy, I'm burping on camera. That's not good. Manny Trio, 83 traded. I probably shouldn't have got this. It looks like it's all stained up at the top, so it'll probably end up going in a junk box. I kind of liked it because it was traded, and it was the year he was traded for, like, Von Hayes, I think, when Von Hayes was traded to the Phillies. But with those stains, I'm going to end up getting rid of that. So, CC Sabathia, another sweet spot. Here's a Cal Ripken cut from a magazine. It's a little jagged. I think there's a crease, if I'm not mistaken. I can't find it at the moment, but I believe there was a crease on that. Yeah, right there it is. Sammy Sosa, 95 Pinnacle. And Manny Ramirez, Leaf Limited. Good chance I have that, but I thought I would at least give it a shot. The gentleman also gave me these. They gave me these. I really, to be honest, I didn't want them, but when somebody gives you something, you aren't going to say, oh, I don't want them, so I'm probably going to get rid of most of them. I'll go through and see if I know there's a couple Hall of Famers in here, a couple rookies, like the Roki, even though I think the Roki was in the freebie box here because it was with a smash corner, so, but yeah, I appreciate it. I mean, like I said, I don't really need them, so I'm probably going to dump most of them, but thank you guys for giving me those. And then I just, of course, I wanted to buy a little more because since I kind of messed up and didn't buy their the boxes that I was supposed to buy for $10, I ended up spending 15 with them once they gave me a little bit of a deal. These were in the 50-cent box. Jackson Churio from Donruss Optic, Mizorowski Bowman Paper Rookie, Caglione Bowman Paper Rookie, and don't drop that. Joe Morgan, and that is an O-Pee-Chee from 83. Okay, here's a Jackson Churio. I don't know, is that Stars from MLB or what? No, Titans of the Game. It's kind of a cool card. I don't think I have that. I'm not quite sure why I bought this. I'm not huge on Phillies prospect. This is Aiden Miller. He's supposed to be pretty good. Same with Bubba Chandler. And here's a Caglione rookie. So, those are all in the 50 centers. And then I just bought a few more from their other stock. They really had a nice sell-through. They had a display case, and it was empty by the time I even looked at it. So, since I was dealing with the other cards. Excuse me. So I bought these. This is a Munetaka Morikami. I heard he's pretty good, so I figured why not. I definitely want to get a Mizorowski rookie that I don't have, so that's a cool one. That's from Heritage. And definitely I'd love to get a Jackson Churio rookie. This is from the Jersey Kings. It's a really neat looking card, so I was happy to have that. So that's pretty much it. I think it was a good show. I mean, I only spent 25 there. I had 60 when I went in, so I could have spent more. I had some other things I wanted to do. Wanted to go over and visit my parents like I do every weekend, so I had to get over there. And also, I had my dad go to the storage unit with me, and I'm not sure why I'm telling you guys this, but I had him go to the storage unit with me so I could pick up a rack to bring out of the storage unit and bring back home for our shit. So, anyway. Alright, guys, thanks for watching.